Hello everyone, welcome back to Tomb Raider Anniversary. Apologies that this one is a day late. That is because yesterday I had a very long day at work. I didn't get back until pretty late in the evening, or late in the afternoon at least. And then, got home and had to do home stuff. By the time that it came to when I was gonna record this, I realized that I didn't have enough for a full video, so I had to record a little bit more, and by the time that I did that, it was pretty late in the evening. I didn't really feel like recording. Liv was already going to sleep, and I don't think anybody, it doesn't matter that it would be up late, I just didn't feel like doing it. So I'm doing it today, and yes, moving this crate took 1,000 fucking years. I do not know why. I did not have that problem the first time I played through the game. I don't know what the point of this lower area is other than the wolf and the ammo, but whatever. But yeah, you probably couldn't really tell from it being sped up, but I was pushing it forward on the little indented path that it gives you for the thing, and it just was not doing it. It wasn't moving at all, so I had to do it in a little fucky way that took, I shit you not, that was like 5 minutes right there, sped up a lot. Very, very silly. This game, I didn't really get into it much, and they're not game ruining things or anything like that, but this game, it's got some funkiness. It's got some quirks. It's a little quirky. With the controls. For one thing, the thing that fucks me over the most, and that you're probably going to see a couple of examples of in this video alone, is it's a little bit picky about the jumps, because there are, in the course of just recording this episode, there were several instances of me jumping and holding forward as you are supposed to do, and coming up on a thing that you're supposed to grab onto and swing on or whatever, and she just doesn't do the jump, the grabbing jump, and so she doesn't grab the pole or the ledge or what have you, and just falls and dies. The upside to this is that Lara's falling and dying animation is really funny, because she just ragdolls and it just makes this hilarious thud noise. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. So that happens sometimes. It's also stupid that you can't shoot or do anything when you're in water. But I digress. But yeah, at times the controls and movement just in general in this game can be a little bit finicky. Maybe it would be aided by me using a controller. As I said, I've been using keyboard controls for this game since I started playing it. And I feel like switching to a controller now and having to reorient myself to that would just be its own problem, but maybe I'll give it a shot at some point. I waited a lot longer on these pulls here than you really have to, because I'm just being cautious, really, because you can very easily just completely miss. Anyway, this is the Lost Valley, and we will be doing the entire thing in this video. As you can probably see, the video is a little bit long. And I'm sure not many people really care about that, but I was a little bit hesitant to make it this long because For one thing, I've only uploaded one other video of this. I haven't really been able to gauge like the level of interest in this game. I mean, I'm gonna do it either way, so you can just deal with it if you're not into it. But I urge people to give it a chance. I think this is a fun game, and I think it'll be an interesting run. Certainly a little bit different than a lot of the other stuff I do. And do not worry, I do have a secondary LP like in mind. I guess I'll spoil that it is a licensed game, so, you know, sticking to my roots. But not going to say what it is. But that'll be up tomorrow. I wanted to do it on Tuesday, but then I kind of, like, floundered as to whether or not I want to actually do it for whatever reason. And then, you know, normally it would be going up today, and this would be going up on Wednesday, but we already talked about that. So it'll be up tomorrow, and then I'll put up the third part of this game, hopefully on Saturday. So that is your Timbo schedule update for the video. And this bear is just wrecking my shit. I've gotten a little bit better at the I guess it's called the adrenaline shot or whatever, where you have to hit shift and a direction at once. That's another thing in this game where the controls will often fuck me over, because there are times where at least to my estimation, I do hit the shift key and whatever direction key I want at the same time. But for the game, it's like, no, you didn't. And pretty much, if you get forced into the adrenaline shot thing and you don't hit the fucking buttons right the first time, you're pretty much guaranteed to get hit, because they're coming right at you, and you don't have time to, like, you know, hold shift and duck out of the way, and especially later when we're fighting a boss, spoilers, it's a pretty big boss, so, you know, you can't really dodge it either way if it's coming at you. So anyway, here is this confusing area and this sliding jump that I could not do for some reason. And yeah, a little bit of a weird way to go there, but I did it. And yeah, send you back up here, and didn't notice that there is a thing up there. And then once I went all the way back to get over here, I found a mini medipack, which is nice. And also this secret that you can't get to, and I did not know at the time of recording this how to get it. But then, like I said, I had to record. This was in 2 sessions. One at the end of, you know, the recording session that made the first part, and then I only had like 11 or 12 minutes for this video last night before I recorded the rest of it. And between those two, when I loaded the game back up, I was like, alright, I want to find out how to find this treasure, and I did. So you'll see that a little bit later after we go through this whole rigmarole. And I like this area. I like the Lost Valley area. For one thing, I like the whole, like, machinery stuff, all the turny stuff at the start there. But I was a little bit confused. I did a lot of wandering around. This is why it took me so long to record it yesterday, is because, like, I mean, I said this in the first part, this game will have a lot of editing, and it's not just mistakes, although there are many of those. But also, there's just a lot of, you have to do the same part over and over again, or not over and over, hopefully, but you have to do it more than once, because you, like, get up to a certain part, and then maybe you want to do, like, or something like this happens. And this is what I mean by having to do the whole part over again, because, you don't just get the satisfaction of dying and then going back to your last checkpoint. You have to go all the way back to the very fucking beginning, which is obnoxious, and one of the reasons that I don't really love this level. But I like the idea of it. I think it's a decent introductory level to get you into the swing of things. But I'm also a dumbass, so it's hard. And there's that little glitch. That's another thing. It doesn't really hinder the gameplay at all, but it's just a weird thing that I have observed nowhere else. I've watched 2 different playthroughs of this game, not all the way through, but I've seen them. So I don't know, maybe I gotta watch the whole things and see, but I've never seen it in any other footage of gameplay from this where she, like, when you're turning a corner on a ledge, she'll, like, go off of it on a straight line and then appear on the other side rather than just do a clean turnaround like that, which, you know, sometimes she does, but other times it doesn't. And just in general, the ledge stuff, I don't know, maybe it's just the PC version of this game, or maybe not my copy, but I don't know, maybe it's my computer being fucked up. Who knows? Or maybe, you know, it's just a glitch in the game. Just, you know, games have glitches sometimes. But no, there's definitely some super conspiratorial explanation for it, I'm sure. Because, like, I mean, with this computer stuff, I talked about it a little bit in the update video, but, you know, there are times where I feel like some sort of, I'm part of some cosmic joke. I'm some metaphysical anomaly. I mean, me thinking I'm a metaphysical anomaly, or like, an anomaly in general, that kind of goes to other things that I guess I won't get into right now, because it's really stupid, and it's not even something that I, like, actually wholeheartedly believe. It's just one of those, you know, just one of those thoughts you have of sometimes of, like, oh, am I wrong in some way? But I definitely am the subject of some kind of Book of Job of electronics cosmic joke where especially computer, but really just any electronic thing, basically operates by Murphy's Law, where anything that can go wrong does. And very often things that, you know, seasoned computer boys have no explanation for, which is pretty aggravating. So yeah, that's what really gives me that impulse of whenever a game or anything behaves in a way that I haven't really heard or seen of it doing that for anyone else, I'm like, oh, well, it's probably just, you know, me being, you know, just getting the short shrift of the universe. Which, if it is true, this really, like, I guess it's one of the better ways that you could fare in life, where, you know, everything else, I'm not going to say that everything else in my life is going fantastic, but, you know, compared to a lot of people, my life has, you know, been fairly comfortable and okay, you know, knock on wood, but just you know, computer poopy all the time. Not even that I have that, like, my computers don't work. I don't know what the fuck was going on here. I literally, you don't have to duck to get into those things. It does it for you. And you can't do shift while you're on the ledge, because then you fall off. So I was just pulling you know, all you do is just hold W and go up. And it was just, she was just doing a dance. Like, when I did it successfully and she did go through the thing, I didn't do anything differently. This is what I'm fucking talking about. It's like, you know, everything should be normal, and it just isn't sometimes, and, I don't know. I'll often ascribe this to, you know, some kind of thing with me or whatever, and my luck. I guess it is just bad luck, but I mean, little weird glitchy things in games like that are kind of not on the same exact wavelength as, like, the computer fuckery that I deal with throughout my life. And it really is electronics. It's not just computers. Sometimes it's, you know, other hardware that you use with computers, like capture cards or what have you. Or TVs, consoles, whatever. If it's a thing with a, you know, some sort of little green chip in it, it's probably gonna fuck with me. Anyway, here is the boss. Check out this fun boss with QuickTime events. Hey guys, this is a T-Rex. I don't know if it's supposed to be a T-Rex specifically, but it's a dinosaur. Yeah, here is a very annoying boss that will be going on for a little while because it is stupid. Also, those QuickTime events threw me off guard. I completely forgot when I was playing this that this game even had those. So I just thought it was a cutscene, so I was like chilling. I think I was eating something, and then I saw the arrow come up, and I was like, oh fuck, I have to participate. Anyway, yeah, clean shot there. I think you get a good idea of what you're supposed to do in this boss fight. You have an adrenaline meter up at the top. That's the little secondary meter that gets filled with red juice when you shoot him in the face at the right distance. Except sometimes, and by sometimes I mean pretty much every time he lunges toward any of the walls in this arena, he doesn't follow you. Like, even if you go right up to him and shoot him in the face with the red circle, and get him to full adrenaline, he won't turn to you. I don't know what makes him turn to you. Apparently it's just going far away and not paying attention for a little while, because that's when he always seems to suddenly start running toward me. But yeah, no, he just does this weird fucking hugging the wall, shifting around thing, and then, yeah, when he does this, yeah, you can't turn around. Like, what the fuck? And this has been my experience every time that I have played this boss, and I don't understand. I don't think this is another thing like the glitching. I think this is just stupid. Like, the boss is just dumb and doesn't work. But I don't know. But yeah, you know, you get the adrenaline going all the way up, and then when he's coming at you, you do the shift and hit the thing, and then you hit him, and you're supposed to get him to go into the spiky things, and that stabs him. And he dies. And, like, yeah, now he's just suddenly doing it again, and that did nothing. Awesome. And yeah, the problem is making sure that you trigger the thing while he is in front of the spikies, which I almost did there, but then for some reason, instead of registering me hitting shift and A, it just thought that I was diving out of the way. Yeah, see, just doing that does nothing, or, I mean, it only gets rid of a little bit of damage. So yeah, lining it up with the spiky things is tricky, because he moves fast and can knock you around, and yeah, he pretty much will go in whatever direction you get him going in. And then, you know, assuming you do all that, you know, and you get him to turn around, you've spent 6 hours shooting him in the head, so he'll come charge at you. Then you know, yeah, it's the problem of actually doing the fucking adrenaline shot, which sometimes the game just doesn't like doing. And so you get stuff like, you know, diving out of the way without hitting the direction, or crouching when I don't know how the hell that happened. Boss is a little bit silly. You know, with the adrenaline shot, the adrenaline shot's one of those things that's just in a game that's very picky and finicky, where like I'm never doing anything different every time, but somehow it's a fucking crapshoot whether or not it even works. And I don't understand. But whatever, dinosaur's dead. Yeah, saving after that so I don't have to do that again. That was actually my second attempt at this boss that you just saw. I figured you don't have to see any of the first one. It was basically what you just saw, except it took even longer, and I didn't kill him. Because I needed one more hit. I had worn him down. I'd missed the spiky things all but once. So he had only taken a little bit of damage from hitting the wall, but he was toward the end, and I had it all lined up, But then the adrenaline shot thing fucked up, and he bit me twice. He got me during the adrenaline shot, and then before I could get up, tail whipped me, and I died. But then I did it the second time, and perfect run, no mistakes, first try. And now we're swimming in some beautiful water. And we just found the third gear, so now we're making our way back to the valley itself. Or was that the valley where the dinosaur was? That kind of resembles a valley a little bit more than the waterfall place. But I don't know. And I hope that I'll be able to, like, you know, talk about all of the things and locations in this game, because most of them are just big, like, clearly, because a lot of them are just big stone things, and I don't remember, like, if they all have official names or whatever, like, oh, this is the stone of Corpatorn, or whatever. I don't know. I also don't know if any of the things or places in this game are real or based on anything vaguely real. I'm gonna assume probably not for most of it, but I don't know. I mean, I know that, like, yeah, I mean, like, Peru exists, but all the other stuff, like, you know, Qualopec and Comun and, fucking, I mean, Vilcabamba sounds like a real thing to me. Or, I mean, real as in existing in the cultural conscious outside of Tomb Raider, at the very least, if not a real or imagined to be real place. You know, kind of like Atlantis. Because, obviously, or I guess maybe not obviously, but I'm pretty sure Atlantis plays a large role in this game, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Like I said, first playthrough of this game, didn't really pay attention to or understand what was going on in the plot. That was me burping in the middle of talking, if you were wondering why I suddenly sounded like my stomach was coming out of my mouth. And yeah, those parts can be spooky when when you're in danger. You just hit E to balance yourself out. It's pretty easy, but you got that yellow caution sign, you know, that can throw people off. But yeah, this is a part of this level that I enjoy because it's, you know, it's one of those things with a sort of platformery, exploration-heavy game. And when I say exploration, I don't really mean exploration. It's exploration in terms of what you're doing in, like, the plot of the game that you're exploring this tomb, but, like, in terms of gameplay, you know, it's not... I wouldn't call this open-ended, necessarily. The only thing that's open-ended about it is that, just because of the design of some of these locations, it's not always immediately clear what you should be doing, or where you should be going, or, like, you know, what's the best way to get back to a place. Because I know at least I have that problem when I play this game. I had it when I was recording this episode. I cut out about 15 minutes of me climbing up to the top of the waterfall area 2 or 3 times, and more than that actually, because I kept fucking falling and going into the water and getting swept back to the beginning. And then realizing where I actually had to go and feeling like a big dummy. And yeah, pretty much anytime you see me enter a new room or area and then immediately see an edit, you can pretty much guarantee that either right at that moment or, you know, shortly enough after that to warrant an edit, I died. Or in this case, it was an excursion over to that other side that I didn't need to go on, and that ended up being completely pointless. So no need to keep it in there. It's already a long enough video. Oh boy. But yeah, not much to say. We're just kind of, you know, putting a bow on this level. Now it's just a matter of getting that gear up to where you gotta stick it, and then sticking it there, and making the turny turns, and then you leave. It opens the door to the jungle or whatever. It's not what it does. I know what happens, but yeah, you really have no time to jump on that thing. I also don't recommend jumping away from the pole when you're not facing the slope, because at least for my dumb brain, it's a little hard to, you know that you're actually going where you're aiming. I guess I don't really have a whole lot of time to talk about it, but like, I talked about how I had a long day at work, and man, the conversations I've been hearing at work lately have been really something. Without disclosing anything about my work or who was there, probably the weirdest was, I mean, it started out pleasantly enough. Me and these two older guys that I work with were talking about old movies, because they brought up the Kane Mutiny, and then they were talking about other 50s movies. And, I mean, if I'm being honest, I have not actually seen that many Hollywood movies from that era. It's not my favorite era of Hollywood movies, the 50s. But, you know, enough that I can talk about it with two old guys. Oh, I love these sounds. Hold on. Oh, let's do an epic dive jump. Oh, no, can't do that. Sorry, idiot. Anyway, so yeah, that was like an amicable enough conversation. But then one of them started talking about how he wants to boycott all the sports because the fucking players kneeling. And the other one was talking about how Italians aren't white and are discriminated against, and how Mussolini's not a fascist. And I was like, time out. I can't do this shit. What a weird thing to say at the very end of the video. Anyway, next chapter of this game. See you then for that.